All right, so like I said, we've talked about 3 regions of Texas, but there are 4 regions of Texas. We're going to watch this video over our last region, and then we're going to do a short passage over it. So make sure we have our mics muted, make sure we have our cameras off. That way we can hear and we can see. And let me go ahead and kind of fast forward this to the part we need.
Mesas Canyon. This region is very dry with little rain. It's a cooler land because of the high elevation. All right, our last stop is the Central Plains region. The Central Plains region is in the center of Texas. It has a little higher elevation than the Coastal Plains region, rising from 600 feet to about 2,000 feet above sea level. The Central Plains region is a rural area, not having a high population. It has warmer summers and cooler winters, and there are many cattle ranches here. Rolling hills cover much of the Central Plains in Texas. In many places in the Central Plains, rivers and streams have cut steep-sided hills and valleys into the land. This area is often called the Rolling Hills region. Fort Worth was one of the many stops along the famous cattle trail known as the Chisholm Trail. The Chisholm Trail was started by a Cherokee trader. Cowboys and cowgirls in this region still work on cattle ranches. Many compete in rodeos around the country. Did you know that after the Civil War, about 1/3 of the Texas cowboys were African American or Mexican American, and several were women? Fort Worth is one of the larger cities in the Central Plains region. It is known for its stockyards and cowboys. One little critter you might see in the Central Plains is the horned toad. Don't see them very often, but if you do, be careful. They are on the threatened animals list. This means the species is threatened of being extinct. Okay, everyone, back on the bus. Make sure you took plenty of notes. And remember, this region is known for its rolling hills. The Central Plains are slightly higher than the coastal plains. Many cattle ranches are located here. It is rural, not highly populated, and Fort Worth, Abilene, and several military bases are located in the Central Plains. Thanks for coming along on the tour. I hope you learned a bunch.
Okay, so again, here's kind of our chance to look at the important information from this region of Texas. This region of Texas has what they call rolling hills. So that is when you have one hill, and then right afterwards you have another hill, and then another hill after that. So it kind of goes from one hill to another to another. The Central Plains are just a little bit higher in elevation than the coastal plains. So they're kind of like the region that we talked about the other day that also has very high elevation. But instead of being flatter, this one has those rolling hills. There's a lot of cattle ranches there because they have so much space that they can give to the cattle so that they can walk around, so that they can eat. This region of Texas is a lot more rural and it's not very highly populated. And that's one of the reasons why they can have those cattle ranches is because there's not so many people, they can have these big open spaces for the cows and the animals and everything to kind of walk around on to eat the grass and all that. And here we have cities like Fort Worth, like Abilene, and there's a few military bases there in the Central Plains as well. We're going to go ahead and go from our video into our passage. We can go ahead and turn our cameras back on now. And our passage for today is going to be in classwork. It's going to be under social studies, and it's going to say Texas Regions Part 3. So again, we're going to find it in our classwork. The topic on the left is going to be social studies, and we're looking for Texas Regions Part 3. And this one, just like the other ones we've done, has a short passage about the region, and then it's got a few questions for us. So we're going to read the passage and answer the questions. The Prairies and Lakes region is in north central and central Texas. The land is hilly and gently rolling. There are patches of woodland throughout this grassland prairie. The patches of treed areas are why it's often called the cross timbers. The soil here is rich or full of nutrients. Early settlers noticed this rich soil and turned much of the open prairies into farmland for animals and crops. The rich soil allows farmers to grow a variety of crops. So they're letting us know that it's not just one thing that they grow. They can grow a big variety of things because of the fact that the soil there has all those nutrients, so that a lot of different types of plants can grow. Long ago, giant dinosaurs roamed this region. Fossils of 17 different dinosaurs have been found throughout this area. Fossils of Tyrannosaurus rex and I'm going to try my best to say this one, Pleurocoelus, the official dinosaur of Texas, have been discovered here. The numerous lakes that are scattered across this region make it popular for people who love to fish. Okay, so the numerous lakes that are scattered across this region make it popular for people who love to fish. The abundant wildlife also attracts hunters. Wildlife found here includes the porcupine, ringtail, armadillo, mockingbird, and the white-tailed deer. All right. So just like last time, I'm going to go ahead and read the questions. We're going to go from question number 1 down to question number 6. All right. Messiah, Nakai, Ezekiel, make sure we have our cameras on. Okay. So I'm going to start with question number 1. Where is this region located? Just like the other ones, make sure you click here in the box and then type in your answer. Where is this region located? So located just means where is it at? Where would you find this region of Texas? Question number 2. Why is it called the Cross Timbers? So they want to know the reason. Question number 3. Why do you think that what do you think that rich means in this passage? Kylie. So again, you're going to find it in classwork. On the left side for your topics, you're going to click on Social Studies, and it's Texas Regions Part 3. Here, hold on. Okay. So you're going to go to classwork. Left side, your topic is Social Studies. And we're looking for Texas Regions Part 3. Yes, ma'am. Yes, Irene. Sure. The Prairies and Lakes region is in north central and central Texas. The land is hilly and gently rolling. There are patches of woodland throughout the grassland prairie. The patches of treed areas are why it's often called the cross timbers. The soil here is rich or full of nutrients. Early settlers noticed this rich soil and turned much of the open prairies into farmland for animals and crops. The rich soil allows farmers to grow a variety of crops. Long ago, giant dinosaurs roamed this region. Fossils of 17 different dinosaurs have been found throughout this area. Fossils of Tyrannosaurus rex and Pleurocoelius. I still don't know how to pronounce that correctly. Well, I'll try again. Pleurocoelius. Pleurocoelius? The official dinosaur of Texas have been discovered here. The numerous lakes that are scattered across this region make it popular for for people who love to fish. The abundant wildlife also attracts hunters. Wildlife found here includes the porcupine, ringtail, armadillo, mockingbird, and the white-tailed deer. And then we have our questions. I'll start at number 1 again. Question number 1. Where is this region located? So they want to know, where would you find this region? Where is it at? Question number 2. Why is it called the Cross Timbers? So they want to know, what was their reason for calling it the Cross Timbers? Question number 3. What do you think that rich means in this passage? So they want to know the meaning of the word rich, like how they're using it in the passage. Question number 4. Why is this region ideal for farmers? So ideal means, why is it good for farmers? Why is it a good place for farmers? Question 5. What's special about the Pleurocoelius? Pleurocoelius? I'm going to see if we can find out how that's actually supposed to be said. Let's see if I can find it. Let's see. I think I might have found it. Let's see.
Plurocellus.
Okay. Plurocellus. At least I had the beginning part right. What's special about the Plurocellus? And Question 6. Why would hunters or fishermen want to visit this region? Why would hunters or fishermen want to visit this region? Okay, if you have all the questions answered, then just like the other ones, make sure that you turn this in when you have it all finished. Give me a thumbs up if you're still working. Okay, keep on working.
Do we turn it in?
Yes, when you're finished, Heidi, you turn it in. Just make sure that you answered all the questions first.